they
This
can hear
conference
me.
will now be recorded.
Here, would you like a bag?
Also, whenever you guys are done eating, I'll pass these out. This is just kind of what I'm going to go over today and everything. It's kind of a guideline. I just don't want to interrupt your guys' eating too much. So I will get started here. We're going to go over the front facing and the back facing as far as BoomTown. So I'll go over the basics first. First off, thank you guys for staying, because anyone who is leaving from this is going to be contacting me later 100% to get this. So you guys are already one step ahead of them. So awesome job. BoomTown is a website that is completely customized to you as a real estate agent. So this means that it will then be branded to you as far as your picture, contact information, your bio, and also whenever people were to use your website, is then able to capture leads from that link. So I'm going to show you guys how people are going to use your website so you could understand how to, because if a client calls you asking how to use or search certain things, instead of saying, oh, I don't know how to use my own website, you'll actually know how to go about it, because that's not a good first impression. So if you did sign up, you have a password reset in your inbox. If you don't have an account still, get with me afterwards. If you have a question along the way, just raise your hand so then I can find a good stopping point, and then I can answer any questions you guys have along the way. I'm the primary contact for anything to do with BoomTown. So if you end up having any questions about it, I would be the person that you guys would talk to. If you want to take one and pass it around, more paper, sorry guys. I'm a big note taker, so this kind of helps save time. So first things first, your website is typically going to be your first name and last name. If you are at Cocoa or Melbourne Beach, your URL is not going to say Premium Orlando Properties. It's going to say Premium Brevard Properties. So as you can see here, I'm using Jennifer's. I'm using Jennifer's because her whole entire website is set up. So everything that you could customize as far as a bio and all that contact stuff, she has done already. So I want to be able to show you guys everything if you do complete 100% the website. So this is how your website will look. Everyone's is primarily the same. You're going to have this really nice video from a drone. It's very high quality. It's probably really glitchy. Yeah, it's really glitchy on there, but I promise it looks way better on an actual laptop. So it's going to have our logo, of course, a nice little search bar there. And I'm just going to scroll on down after it refreshes. Maybe. Okay. All right. I'm gonna let this load so it doesn't freeze on me. It's really hot in here. Okay. So I'm gonna scroll on down in here, and I'm gonna show you guys how your website is gonna be laid out. People, you're gonna have this URL, and I highly recommend attaching it to your Facebook. Putting it on your professional business cards also looks really nice, because then it shows that you have a website. You're only gonna be able to change your first and last name on here. You can't edit the other half of it because we still have the licenses from BoomTown. So you are able to change the first half, which would be your first and last name. I recommend keeping it your first and last name. That way you're searchable on search engines. So for example, if you look up Megan Gann, it would bring up my website and all my social media profiles. If you change it to I sell houses, chances are it's not going to connect with your other profiles. So that's part of having a good online presence. You want to be the same all across the board. So this is what your website will look like. People have different options as far as how they like to search for homes and listings. And right here is where you're really able to go to town with customizing your page. So as you can see, you could upload a picture, connect your social media channels, have contact information. She really went crazy with her bio, which is great. I'm not going to lie to you. Some agents, I do see them say, my name is so-and-so and I sell houses in Central Florida. It's not really eye-catching. This is really your area of your profile that you could kind of put your personality on and put a thumbprint on, as far as what you bring to the table and what makes you different from other realtors, why they should trust you, and why you have more of a spark and passion of what you do in real estate. So I do recommend going in here and writing a nice little bio. Otherwise, this is pretty much blank. So this is really where you could customize it. The last conference I went to for BoomTown, they were mentioning that they might be doing more customization in the future, so it is down the line, but for now, this is pretty much the only section that we have to customize with without getting too crazy with coding and all that stuff. So she broke it down into my commitment to you, my experience, my company. These are three great ways to break it down, because then it shows your dedication to your client, your experience as a realtor, or along the way, if you gain more experience, just kind of add it in there. And also the company. You don't have to write really anything about the company, because below this, it will have our information and our little bio here. This will be on everybody's as well, since it is branded to Premium Properties. We will also have that. And then it'll subcategorize all these locations and such. Sorry. And in here, it also pulls all of the listings from MLS directly, so you don't have to worry about updating them or refreshing them. It is always updating and being pushed from the MLS. So if you have specific areas that you're focusing on, you could then connect your license number in your MLS, and it'll kind of pinpoint what sections you're really working with in there. I'll show you more details on how to customize that in just a little bit. So all of these are pulled from the MLS, are all accurate. They give you all the information. It'll even tell you whenever it was updated into the MLS and whenever it has been uploaded to the website. So for example, I'm going to actually go and search for one. They could click any of these, of course, just as a shortcut. It'll always repopulate different ones. And if they scroll at the bottom, they could also send you a quick message. So you could send them a message right there. I'm going to scroll back up to the top here. And let's say that a client gets your business card, it has your URL on it, they visit it, and then they're going to go in here and take a look. I'm actually going to look at Lake Nona, because Lake Nona has really big houses. So we're going to click on that. They're able to search anywhere, and it will then populate all the homes that are active on the MLS. So on here, it will pull them all up. It'll give you even little notifications from whenever they're new, if they're foreclosure, if they've had a price reduction. So that's also really great. You don't have to really customize all of this. It does it for you. So let's say that we're looking for something specific though. My max price, we're going to go for 400K. Let's see how many pull up with that price. Cool. And they're really able to customize what search they're 100% going for. So for example, of course, you have the price, the type, bed and bath. If you were to click on more, this is why I show this to you guys, because let's say a client has like very specific things that they're looking for. This gets really specific. So if you click on more and then go into more options, you then have a huge list of different things: waterfront, boat access, golf community, all these very specific things that they might be looking for. So you don't have to dig for hours and hours. This will just pull up everything automatically. So it's kind of giving them a quick survey, seeing what they're looking for, and then putting it in here. But let's say the client's already on here doing all this customization. What they can then do is, let's say they like one of these houses. We'll click on this one. This is different looking. And we're going to scroll on down. This is a rental, so it does have rentals as well. I believe you can categorize that out if you're not trying to do rentals, but you do have the option, so that's great. It does give you all the information from the MLS and then some, but as you could see, for every single listing, you'll be the point of contact. So since this is Jennifer's website, she's the point of contact for every single listing they click on. So that's how you're really able to be the person to contact, because sometimes listings will be retraced back to an office and you don't want them to call the front desk, because let's say someone else is there ready to help someone, then you just lost a lead. You want it to be pinpointed to you, pinpointed to your phone number. That way you are the person who is in control of everything. That's why it's important to share this link, post it on Facebook. You could even run Facebook ads on it to get more traffic as well. So let's say, oh, this is really nice. I'd like to, I like the outside of it. I'm going to favorite. Why not? I'm going to click on through. You might be thinking, well, how does this even capture leads? Well, firstly, you do have to direct traffic to it. So that's why I keep saying pushing it on Facebook, having it on your business card, really trying to get people to go on to these, because that's how you're going to capture leads from it. So they go on, they click through, take a look. I might have already signed up on here. Looks like I might have. But after they click through 3 pictures, they then get a pop-up box, asking them to create a free account. So how they sign up for their free account is using their email as the username and then their phone number as the password. So that's ultimately how you collect the information from that lead. It'll then also ask them a series of small questions as far as if they're looking to buy within the next 0 to 3 months, 3 to 6, or 6 to 12, or I think like 12 plus. So it'll give them a little breakdown and see if they're actually ready to buy or looking, and then you're able to kind of take it from there. So that's how it captures the leads and everything. You're able to favorite it, kind of look over the information. I already signed in through this since I teach this monthly, but it does give them a pop-up box that they're not able to exit out of, so they do have to input that information. Of course, you will still get people who enter in phony information like email at email.com or whatever. That is likely to happen with any sort of CRM, so don't get discouraged. It just means that they just didn't want to sign up for an account and have people calling them. Everyone's been there, so. All right, so that is pretty much the front facing. Now I'm going to show you how you see those leads in the back end. This gets really like kind of detailed. You're able to see everything from as far as what homes they've looked at, how many times they've looked at it, how frequently they've been on your website. So it really kind of does all the research for you. So we're going to go on to that. Does anyone have any questions so far? Cool. Yes. Yes, there's an app. It's called BoomTown now. All right, I'm going to go into the back end now. So with your BoomTown as well, whenever you go to log in, don't go to boomtown.com. That's where they're trying to sell you the whole CRM. So you want to go to leads.boomtownroi.com. That's where you would go to log in with your email and your password. The password resets were sent to you guys, so that's where you would go to log in.
Oh, the link is in the email?
Hmm?
The link is in the email?
Yeah. Yeah, in the email, it'll tell you guys your login, password, and information like that. And I think you could change it as soon as you log in. And if not, then I'll show you where to go to change all that. I'm going to go through everything. Yeah, I think it's like a little orange icon with a little house thing. Yeah, that is it. All right, so that is the front-facing one. Also, if you did want to share your link on Facebook, of course, you could just take the front half of this. It's just going to be your first name, last name, .premiumorlando or premiumbrevardproperties.com. All right, and then we're going to go into the back end here. So these are all past accounts that I've made from going through that little pop-up box. So let's say that these are all different names. These are all just my own name because I don't know why I didn't put different names. But this is where all of your leads would then be generated into. So as you can see, it kind of breaks down information as far as the last time that you've been communicated with them, how many times you've tried to call them, email them, text them. It already organizes all that stuff for you, so you don't have to go look around and be like, oh, did I call this person yesterday? I don't remember. Because whenever you're in real estate, sometimes you forget what people you've contacted, because sometimes there's a lot of people that do need to be reached out to. It also tells you the last time that they have visited your website. This obviously was the account that I made last time because it says I visited moments ago. So it even pins down the time that they visited. Whenever you get a lead that is brought into here, I do recommend reaching out to them. They'll get a welcome email whenever they create an account. So it'll tell them, thank you for creating a free account on my website. Please come to me for any questions that you might have as far as real estate. And then it'll give them just a series of random generated listings from the MLS, so that can be kind of a click through for them to look at. So whenever you do get a lead in here, I don't recommend calling them the second that you get a text saying that someone's in there. I personally would think it's kind of weird to get a text from a call from someone whenever I just got on their website. That would kind of be a little eerie to me. I would give them a little bit of time, of course, but still reach out to them whenever you're ready to. But that's just my input. Up to you. Some people do it differently. Some people give them like a couple hours or something just for it to not be so invasive of their privacy, because some people these days are very, very scared of that. You're also able to set to-do lists as if like a reminder to call them, text them, send them an email. We have e-alert settings on here. I'm going to go through all these things. I'm just briefing over how it's organized in here. It shows you how many times the page has been visited. Wow, okay. And it'll even show you their price range. So this will make a median from how many houses that they've looked at, so the highest, lowest, and then meet in the middle. So that way you already kind of have a price range. You could gather a series of listings for them and not be, overshooting how much they have to spend with. So that's also really cool. This really saves you a lot of time, so you don't have to go searching for the perfect like homes for them. You could search for things in the price range and even take listings that they've already been looking at. So that way they're like, oh wow, this is meant to be, because then they get an email about that listing itself, and you could say, oh well, I'd love to show you this house. I really think that you would like it. And little do they know you already know exactly what house they've been looking at. So that's a really cool factor too. You don't have to do as much digging because some clients will not know what they want at all. So this kind of gets past the battle of, what are you looking for? I don't know, maybe a 2-bedroom, maybe a 4-bedroom, I don't really know. So that way you just kind of beat the bush and you get to exactly what they're looking for without having to hassle of going back and forth. This also auto assigns to lenders. So we do have preferred lenders here. So this will auto assign to them in case they need pre-approval and all that good stuff too. So that's just Lead Central. That is the first one on the pages I have there. It goes down each thing I'm going to go over. So I know I'm going to babble quite some time, so just a reminder. We're going to go down the left side first, and then I'm going to go into how you guys can customize your profile. This computer's slow, so give me a second. Okay. The hot sheet is how many listings that have been added on here. So this was put on 46 minutes ago, and also maybe have been visited 46 minutes ago by someone actively on one of the websites. So we do have a website as Premium Properties, but this also will pinpoint anyone with a BoomTown. So these are all like kind of active listings that people might be interested in. So these are always good because then it correlates the listings that are kind of more popular. So you could showcase them and, kind of get a feel for what is more enticing to people these days. This one's interesting. Oh, no. But you're able to click through as well too. You don't have to go through signing up because this is your own website. Again, you could customize all this information if you're looking for certain things, and you're able to see how many properties were viewed today. So this kind of just gives you what's new and what's trending right now as far as listings in the MLS. So that's nice too, so you don't have to go through the MLS, because MLS is a little harder, well, not constructed as easy as this. MLS is kind of like basic HTML type of stuff. This kind of just puts everything in a little easier to format way. Under here, you'll be able to see best fit and 0 faves. If you do have leads and you already have them, there is a way for you to export them into your BoomTown, so you don't have to worry about entering them in one by one. So that's really nice. So for example, if I had hundreds and hundreds of leads and they've looked at these listings, let's say that this fits one of my leads range as far as how much they could pay and their location, it'll then give you how many leads you have is a best fit for that property. So that also categorizes people for what they might be looking for or be interested in, and you don't have to do any of the work. Also favorites, if any of your leads may have favorited any of the listings, it'll also tell you how many of them have favorited it. So that's really nice too. You'll get to see what people are interested in before you even have a conversation with them. So you already kind of get to predetermine, bless you, predetermine what they're interested in. So it seems more, you could construct your conversation before it happens. We're gonna go into my listings. Okay. So whenever you have your BoomTown, you're able to connect your license number, I believe, and it'll then correlate with whatever listings are. Oh, never mind, that's in my deals. I'm jumping the gun. My listings, I believe, is just for Premium Properties listings here, because it says 92 active, and I think that's how many that are active right now that aren't pending under contract or all that stuff. So this also categorizes it with listing price of the average. So this again is another way to kind of view what's already in the hot sheet. It'll show you how many views have been through there from your leads, and it'll show you how many people are interested in your Lead Central. And again, these are always updating, so you're able to see what's important and all that stuff. What? Oh, that's commercial. Okay. So what I just started randomly talking about, in my deals, you're able to connect your license number, and then this is where it is able to then calculate anything that you could be potentially making in gross commissions. So this is a cool factor because then you don't have to do any of the math or go to a separate website in order to figure it out. I don't have any because I'm not a realtor, so I don't have any here to show an example. But in unclaimed MLS sales, it will have the listings that you maybe have gone under contract with or closed with, and you're then able to claim them and assign them to a lead in your BoomTown, and it'll calculate all of the income that you have made or could potentially make with listings that you have claimed. So for example, if you have a series of homes that you've been showing and you're the listing agent, or you have a couple under contract, it'll then calculate all that for you as a group. So that's really cool. BoomTown really combines a lot of things for you, so you don't have to run around to 60 different websites to do it. It also has a lot of great integrations as well, and I'll show you guys how to integrate anything else with it. This is a really cool factor though, because me myself, math is not my thing, so this would be really cool, and also a great motivational thing to do is to see how many active opportunities and how much money you could be potentially making, and maybe push those houses a little bit more to get to that goal. So let's say that you have leads, but they're not from your website. It's someone that you might have already been working with, or you met on Facebook or out and about. You're able to manually add them in yourself, of course, so you can kind of organize everything together in one area. You're able then to put in your first name, last name, well, not your first name, but the lead's first name and last name. And I believe the only other thing that they need from you is the source. So in here, it's just like a huge list of where you might have gotten the lead from, different websites. There's even like job descriptions. There's a bunch of different things. And I think if it's not on this list, there is another option and you could select that in there. You can fill this out if you want to, but if it's just kind of like a quick add-in to kind of correlate all your leads in one, they only need the first name, last name, and the source of the lead. So you can manually enter it in. If you already have a list, I believe there's a way for you to import them too, so you don't have to do it one by one. I'm gonna get a drink of water. So we're gonna go into reporting. All right. Okay, so in Lead Central, I'm not sure if you guys saw or not, this is on the second page. There's different categories per lead. So what that means is you're gonna have different categories such as new, qualify, watch. These are different amounts of times that a person may have viewed a listing, if they're qualified for a home, if they've been actively looking at one listing. You could then categorize them all into one thing. This is really cool because then you could blast email just a certain category, such as people who are qualified or people who are brand new to your website. You're able to then section those people, so you don't have to go through and click like, oh, I don't remember if this person is ready or this person's not ready. You could categorize all of them. All of mine are in new because I haven't moved them out, I think, besides maybe one trash. And it'll tell you even what type of category that you need to pay more attention to. This one says I haven't called, text, nothing at all to any of the people in my leads, and new. So this also will let you know what ones you really need to focus on more. And even then you could send all those people in that group an email, send them a text, anything like that. And then you know, like, oh, well, all these people in this section have been contacted or, you know, had touch base with. So that's really nice. You could also organize it by buyer or seller as well, whatever one or groups that you're working with at that time. On the second page, a little handout that we have, it goes more in depth as far as what nurture, watch, and all how they qualify for those sections. You do have to switch them from whatever category that they're in, so it won't automatically switch over for you. So on that second page, it does explain more of what is technically qualified for that label. All right. Okay, email templates. This is where you could actually email them as well. Whenever they join in, they do get a welcome email letting them know this is their logins. Thank you for making a free account, all that good stuff. So you are able to create templates and email those people as well. I believe they have preset ones, but it's not in this section. So these are the only ones that I have. So with this, you could actually copy and paste articles as well. That's what I did with this one, and it keeps it all formatted really nice, just like how it was. If you do have documents from Microsoft Word or Outlook, the way that those pages are stylized, it doesn't really transfer over. So that's why it has that attention for do not copy and paste, because then it might like really condense the email and all the words are gonna be overlapped and it's not gonna look nice. So as long as you're not copy and pasting from a Word document or Outlook, you'll be fine to copy and paste whatever you want in here. I just did an article because then that's something simple that I could kind of gain interest with. I also write the blog articles here, so I'm constantly making content and all that stuff too. You're able to name it and select whoever you want to send it to. And yeah, so that's, the emails are pretty basic. We don't really have a big customizable area in here because they have a very basic email thing, unless you want to do HTML and get real crazy with it. Really up to you. And you can attach files too, so that's also a nice option. That one's kind of simple. This one can be a little confusing, but it is a really cool feature that BoomTown has. This is a tracking link generator. So what that means is, let's say you're trying to promote yourself, like your website, on a Facebook ad or on YouTube or some other website. This, you can then paste a link and it'll tell you how much traffic you got from that specific location. So that way you can determine if you're wasting your money on one area and getting zero traffic from it, and then kind of put more money into, let's say, Facebook ads or Google ads. So that'll kind of let you know if, let's say you're doing YouTube ads and absolutely like nobody's clicking on it, then you could probably automatically assume that like you don't need to pay money to advertise there if that's not the right region for them to be surfing for realtors. So that's really cool. You can select the source, of course, on here too. I guess these are places that you could host ads. So this is just a trackable link to let you know where traffic is incoming from to your website. They also have a help portal and all that good stuff. They have a training university, so I'm kind of skimming over each area without going into a whole entire essay about it. So in here, it will go through every single section and how to better use it and all these things. They have a training university, they have live classes, all that stuff. So if you ever do want to get like super skilled at BoomTown, they always have classes, and they also have live recordings, so you don't have to set a certain time. You can watch it any time that you want. So that's really cool. Their support's very quick. They're able to respond pretty much within an hour is whenever I get a response from them. They also answer the phone whenever they're able to. Sorry, I got distracted. They answer the phone pretty much within 5 minutes. I've never had a problem with their support. So they are very helpful if you run into anything kind of weird on your website.
Sort of like.
Wait.
All right.
What about this? No?
Yeah, there. Get it on the train. Get it on the train.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think we're good, maybe. We'll see. Yep. All right. All right. So that is the left-hand side. Now we're going to go into more customization. Any questions, part 2 so far? Nobody? Cool. I know you guys are probably like,
I was trying to delete, I guess delete. I put it in twice, but I couldn't figure out how to.
You just have to move it to trash. I don't think there's a way for you to like wipe it for some reason.
App or something?
Yeah, for the category, you have to put it in as trash. Yeah, so it'll probably say new. You just have to like click the little drop down and put it in trash. Yeah, I don't know why they can't erase it, but I don't know. So I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna kind of hover over these ones. This is product notes. So this is whenever they update the website, it'll tell you everything that has been improved, bugs, things like that. That's typical for a website, of course. This is a shortcut to My Deals, which is over on the left-hand side. This is your to-do list. So if you wanted to set reminders, appointment here, open house here, call this person, text this person, it's all a reminder as far as a digital reminder. Whenever we get into integrations, you could also sync this with Google Calendar, which is really cool because Google Calendar will send you notifications and all that stuff, so you don't have to worry about inputting it one by one. This is your messages, so if people were to message you through your website, you would then get it through here. I have gotten a couple spam messages through there, like 2, I think, and I've worked here for like almost a year now. So there is occasional spam that might come through, but that's just how the internet is, sadly. So you will get messages, maybe spam, but most of the time it is someone just coming in, and it'll remind you or text you whenever a new lead goes on your website. So that's really cool as far as communications. You don't have to really worry about. So up here is where you're going to be able to customize your things. This is the last list we're going to go over, and then I'm going to go over one more thing, and then I'll be open for any questions. Usually the last thing people always have a lot of questions about. So if you click on your username up there and click on my profile, this is where you're going to be able to change your URL, password, picture, bio, all that stuff. I know on the mobile app it probably looks different from everything that I'm doing right now, so bear with me. You're able to change your email login too. Let's say that you don't have your permanent email, you're going to change it. This is where you could update it all on your own. You could change your password as well. Just make sure whenever you update something inside these boxes, you hit update, because it's per section. It's not the whole page. So that way, if you go through editing the whole page and only click one box, it's only going to update that one box. So upload your pictures, put in your MLS number. Don't worry about the office number. We want it to go all to you guys. So that way no one's calling the office like, oh, well, I saw this listing, and then it just gets handed to someone else. We want it all to be directed to you guys. Okay. On here, you're able to input, of course, your contact information, your title, all of that stuff. Oh, it's okay. And this is where you would write that bio. So as you saw on Jennifer's, it had like that big long bio. This is where that would go. You want to make sure to put something that's more personable and more appealing than just I sell real estate. I say that just because I've seen it. So that's really important to kind of put your thumbprint on. If you don't have anything right now to say with it, just keep it in mind and definitely update it eventually. Otherwise, your website just kind of looks bland. It's just premium properties. It's not so-and-so with premium properties. So it's important to kind of customize that as far as you want. You can fill out any of these or leave them blank. Those fields aren't going to show up on your website unless you have information in there.
Quick question.
Yep.
So when you're accessing like BoomTown, like for the first time, was it that password like the John Hubner at premiumproperties.net or?
I don't think so. Your login should be your email and your password. It's a link in your email. If you didn't sign in on the paper, then chances are I didn't reset your password. So if you don't have that, then just get with me afterwards, and then I'll make it really quick.
Okay.
Okay. All right. And on here, of course, you could email people back and forth. That's what this little bubble guy is. You could make a custom email signature. I think it automatically calculates for you guys. So that way, if you email back and forth, it'll already have your information in there and all that stuff. And that's as much as you could really update on there, the email signature, contact, all that stuff. But I do want to take note before I go on to the next thing. You do want to put in your phone number, so direct or mobile, of course. BoomTown has this feature that you could have a redirect number. So, for example, if someone were to call your BoomTown number, it would automatically then log that lead and that contact point by itself. Otherwise, if you're out calling, it won't log it unless you put it in there. So you want to make sure that you log like, oh, call this person, left a voicemail, something like that. It's really quick and simple. I'll show you guys that really quick too. So let's say that I called someone, they didn't answer. You would just go in here if it wasn't through your BoomTown number. If it loads. And you would click the little phone. And you would just be able to click what happened with that phone call. You could then put details as well, such as said to call back at 6:30. So that's all really nice. It just kind of like organizes things to let you know like when you actually called that person. So it's important to log calls. Yeah. So I'm going to go down to integrations. So as I was saying about the BoomTown redirect number, this is where this would be. So if you are trying to do a redirect number, make sure that in your information, your number's in there first. Otherwise, it's not going to know where to redirect your number and it won't work. So these are all the things you can integrate with BoomTown. Some of them we do have, a good amount of them we don't really offer at Premium Properties, but we do have a good amount of them. So I'm going to go over the ones that we do have. Google Calendar, of course, if you have a Google Calendar like a Gmail, this can then sync with your calendar and it'll set reminders and all that stuff. Your BoomTown number is where you would go to get that redirect number. You just click set up, and it looks different than mine because mine's already set up, but it'll say create BoomTown number, and then you just select if you want that to be your direct or cell, whatever numbers you have on your profile. So the reason for this number is if people call it, then it automatically logs for you. So you don't have to input, you don't have to do any input. And also, if you wanted to have a redirect number for some reason, that's fine too. Yeah. So I'm gonna go back to integrations.
That'll be your number?
Yeah, that's just,
That'll be your phone number.
yeah, so it's a fake number that will still connect to your number. So people won't have your personal number. They'll have a fake number, but it still calls you, if that makes
We
sense.
should put that on our business card.
I would put your normal phone number, to be honest. Like, the main reason why they have it on here is so it automatically will log calls for you. Whenever I go over the leads team, that'll make more sense. Otherwise, like, I would have my normal phone number, because let's say that you still have business cards, and something happens with BoomTown or something, then all those numbers are going to be like useless. You know what I mean? So it's primarily used so it'll automatically track your calling. But as far as like handing it out to people, well, wait, you're right. Okay. Maybe you should use it, because then if you pass it off to somebody and they call it, you don't even have to input it in here. So you're right. No, sorry, I'm like all over the place, girl. Yeah, no, you could do both if you want to, but technically the BoomTown number is your number. So either or, cool. The part of just putting like your BoomTown number, if they call you from that, then it'll input their information. But I don't know if it would put their name and such. It would probably just be a phone number. But it will log the call that this was communicated at this time, all that stuff. All right, and I think it does, yeah, it does text messages too. So it'll record text as well. You can get text message notifications. So people will get auto texts, so you're able to verify that or add your phone number, all that. I don't think I have mine, but it does send you an email every day. If you haven't contacted a lead in X amount of days, it'll remind you. You could turn that off in settings too if you don't want to get emails, but it's good to have so you get reminded of if you've had contact or anything like that. Moho Dialer, I don't really have here, but BombBomb we do have. BombBomb is the video email integration, so you're able to connect those together. You could send BombBombs through here, or you could send BombBombs to all your leads on BoomTown. So they kind of integrate together. So that way you don't have to go to two different websites. You could just kind of send the same video to everybody in your leads team as well. Dot Loop we are just now getting introduced to, so we're gonna, I haven't done the training on that yet, but Dot Loop is gonna be replacing our Form Simplicity. So we're gonna go to Dot Loop now, and I believe next week is whenever we are having a training on that. It's a live webinar. There's one on the 12th and one on the 14th. If you're not a part of our Facebook page, the Premium Properties Agents, join in there, because that's where I post the links where you have to RSVP for them. Cool. All these other things, I don't use, so I don't really know. If you have them outside of here, go for it. I don't really know these ones though. So, yep. All right, moving on down the list. We're almost there, guys. Lead email settings. This is just pre-generated emails that you could send out to your leads. Drip campaigns, you guys can't really do unless you're on the leads team, which I'm going to go over in just a couple minutes. But you're able to select different emails, and if you want to send them automatic alerts, if you want to turn that off, it's really up to you. You can make this your own, and this is where you would input your BombBomb ID in order for it to integrate your lists. It's in BombBomb, and you click drop down integrations, and at the top right there's an API code. You just copy that, paste in there. All right, social media settings, this one's super easy. So if you go on Facebook and go to your profile, you just select the URL up at the top and then you paste it in here. That goes for pretty much any of these. and then it will give you a cute little icon on your page. On Jennifer, she has them all. She made accounts even if she didn't use them, just so she has like different reaches, which makes sense. Is she going over circle picks after this? Cool. Yeah, that's a good one too. That'll kind of like integrate. It automatically posts for you, so you don't have to do it. All right, and then the last one's open my website. This is just going to take you to your website page. So if you need your URL for like a quick copy, that's what you would do. Or if you edit something on the page, you could then see what you edited. Mine doesn't have anything, it's just bones. But then you're able to see how everything looks. Any questions? All right, last thing I'm going to talk about before I am completed. I got a good amount of time. So with BoomTown, the initial way that you get leads is through people going to your website and of course locking them in from searching on listings. There is a way for you to get leads automatically sent to you. There is steps you have to take in order to get on there. Our leads team is a team of 25 agents that are put in a cycle that all the leads that come to our normal website are then pushed out to. So that's a way for you to get free leads, and they'll be automatically sent to you. You don't even have to work for them. It's people who go on our website and are looking at listings and just need to be reached out to. So in order to be a part of that leads team, you do have to have 3 closings. You have to do a live webinar series with BoomTown. That's only like 3 days, I think, but it's only an hour per day. It's not all day. And that's just to show you more than what I showed you, because I just kind of go over briefly everything like boom, boom, boom. And of course, attend this class. So you guys already got 1 down. And if you have closings, then you're ahead as well. So every month I go through a report of everyone on the leads team, and if they have 0% leads claimed, then I kick them off and put them back on the wait list. So this I really push because I want people who use it to actually claim leads, because this is money that could just be potentially going out the window because people aren't paying attention. So I think it's really important, if you do get on the leads team, you 100% need to log calls. So as I went over earlier today with the BoomTown number, you wouldn't have to really worry about it. But let's say that this is an external one that doesn't have that BoomTown number. You just go into your lead central. Let's say I just called this person. Yeah, left a message. Cool. That would count as a call that is logged. So let's say I'm just going to click through these. It then has 1. So that counts as 1 lead that was claimed. So for those 25 people, whenever new leads come in, the lead is then sent out to agents per location. So all 7 of our locations then get like a notification, and whoever claims that lead first is theirs. So it's kind of like a very quick, you have to do it, but also it is by location. So if you're in Cimarron, you're only going to get Cimarron and like the circle around Cimarron. But everyone who's on the leads team for Cimarron will get a notification. So you have to be really quick. So you do have to log your calls. If you don't log your calls, it shows that you're not claiming them. And if you're not claiming them, I can remove you without any questions asked. So I would then remove you, put you on the wait list, and then next month you might be added in depending on how many people are waiting before you. So the leads team, if you do want to be a part of it, you do have to have the 3 closings. This class you guys already have done, and then if you need to do those classes online, I could send you the links to them. So yeah, I think that's about it for me. Yep.
For a year or just because of it?
I think it would be previously to here too. I'd have to ask accounting. Accounting will then look up your record and then like verify with me. Yeah. So yeah, that's BoomTown pretty much in a nutshell. If you ever have questions about BoomTown or need me to go over this again sometime, that's fine. Set an appointment with me. This is also recorded, so that way I'll be able to share this with you guys. If you're not a part of our Facebook, join it. I'm going to post it later today whenever I upload it to YouTube, and then you can watch it at home and go step by step with me if you want to. If you don't have an account yet, let me know. Come over to me over in my little area, and I'll make your account for you as well. Good. Cool. I think I'm a little early, but that's okay. That gives her time to set up. So now you guys can have a little break. I think she starts teaching it too, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. Next is circle pick. So if you want to learn how to not be on Facebook and be able to post all the time, I recommend it.
Wait, okay, so
It's
I'm
free content.
So we have to go to your office to sign up for BoomTown?
Yeah,
Okay.
or just give me like your name. That'd be fine. It's really quick, so I'll be able to make it.
I think I logged into the broker's account.